Now, welcome to another video by Work with Nature. We're going to have a look at a bit of beekeeping techniques now today, because I want to get back into beekeeping now that I'm pretty much fully established in India. And the best way for me to get bees in this area is to find some wild ones somewhere around the location, and I need to really kind of use this technique that I learned some years back. A lot of people don't even know about this, even really experienced beekeepers, so stay tuned and we'll have a look at that technique. One bit of warning though, please don't go and locate a colony and then just try and get it out of the, let's say, hollow tree trunk. There's a way of doing it whereby you connect a box or a beehive to that entrance, and then in time, after a few months, the bees will, in the tree trunk, will start building combs and things like that in your box, and you can then sever that hive and you keep the mother colony intact, and you get some bees as well. Okay, so, and they will raise queen cells and so on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can find some bees, and I want to show you how to do it. The bee has come to my sugar bowl. And this is one of two methods. I don't want to disturb the bee now. This is one of two methods of how you can actually locate a wild bee nest in the wild, or if you're unlucky, somebody's beehive. So what we have here is now a bee feeding. It's taking the bee about 3 minutes to actually go with a full stomach of sugar water and back, and you can actually then from that kind of calculate how far the actual colony is away. See the way the bee was actually flying around in circles? It's just learning, it's doing it here, look. It's learning the location of the area, and then it's going to go home and it's going to tell all its sisters, and they're going to come out and they're going to start foraging. Now the reason I'm doing that is because this is, I don't know if I said already, one of two methods. This is the first one, and I just want to see from which direction as well these bees are actually coming. So when there's more bees, I can actually see roughly the direction I'm going to have to be walking in. Just quickly as well, I put a 1-to-1 mix of sugar water in there, because you have to use white sugar, otherwise if you're using honey you could actually give diseases to the wild colony, and if you're using brown sugar they can get diarrhea, so we don't want that. So ironically, white sugar is what you need to use. I put some rice in here so that it floats, that the bees don't drown, and that's just pretty much one method. Now it also helps to catch a bee in a jar, and that's what I actually did, and turn it upside down like such, and then put a leaf on it or something if it's a clear bottle, and the bee will eventually go down, start drinking, and then she will fly back. Because if you don't do that, she'll never actually find it, and it could be there the whole day and the bees will actually not be interested whatsoever, unless you put some kind of essential oils in there to attract a kind of a scent. So that's it. She arrived about 3 minutes ago. We'll see now when she comes back. So it's just a bit of a waiting game now until more and more start coming, and then we can go on to the next step. The second bee has arrived, and the reason I know that is because it's about 45 minutes later, by the way. And the reason I know that is because when she left, she did start making some circles, and when she arrived as well, she was kind of looking at it a bit suspiciously. So it took about 45 minutes for the sister to tell the bee, her friend, that there's some sugar water here. And now she's off, and I've been watching them. They're flying kind of around that way and then up, which tells me that the nest should be at about 3 meters above ground, because bees tend to, when they leave the nest, they stay at that altitude of where the nest is at, and then when they get to the flowers they drop down, or whatever the source of food is. And I forgot to mention as well, the reason why you actually provide sugar water is because if bees go and visit flowers, they don't gather enough nectar together before they go home. So you have to be kind of, if you capture a bee and you let it loose, it's going to go back to the flowers rather than go straight home. When they're full of sugar water, they go straight back. So bear with me another maybe hour or so. I'm just going to wait only a second or two for you, and I'll get then the general direction. But I think it's roughly over that way, but I will be able to see it much better. Because these bees, don't forget, they are also quite small compared to our European bees as well. Now, if they're further away, what you can also do is you can either capture as many bees as possible in a jar, take the plate with you, go in that direction for about maybe 200, 300, 400 meters, turn the jar upside down, let the bees get a sense of the place and let them forage. Then when you take the jar away, they will also start looking for that area, and then they'll be going basically back and forth again, and you can just get a sense that way. The other method is you just capture one bee per jar, making sure that you just have some kind of netting in there. Also, you have to have the right sugar water in there as well, so that they fill themselves up. Once they've done that, you can just let them escape, and they will also take you to the direction. So you have 20 bees and you can just leave them go. And what I would do is leave them about 3 meters away, open the lid, stand back as far as possible, and then you can just get a sense in which direction they're going, follow them that way. So, we have a new addition to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah? What's his name?
Charlie.
Charlie! Hi Charlie! Oh, you're cute. Look, you've got all little ants on your face. Yes?
What else?
You got, what is it, please? Is it like...
What else? That one is.
Huh?
Oh, these mites, I think. Maybe that's what's making these things.
Huh? Headlights? Oh, now you tell me.
That's what's making...
Danraj is very bad. You have to give... look how badly lice he has, no? You have to give him medicine, no?
I got it.
You got medicine? Okay.
Putting every day.
You're putting every day? Very bad lice, huh?
Do they go on humans?
Do they eat humans?
Not humans.
No?
Not eating. Only dogs.
Only dogs, okay. Okay, that's it. Let's go and have a look, see if we can find this wild swarm somewhere, this kind of wild colony. Alright, so I'm just heading generally that direction and just looking in all the trees. What I'm looking for is any kind of hole where I see bees flying in and out. And so far I haven't spotted anything, but I'm only like 10 meters away from the house, so let's go that way. Now that clump of tree there looks very promising, so maybe it could be anywhere up here, anywhere up there, anywhere at all in this region. It shouldn't be further than 500-600 meters anyway. Alright, so I just was standing over there a minute ago and I found them. They're up there. I'll show them to you now in a second, right up there in the tree, about 5 meters up in the air. So it wasn't too bad there, wasn't too far off. And yeah, so let me just take you around and show you. It's really great. See that tree, by the way? This one here. I'm going to put a bait hive in there, and that's, I'll just show you. There are the bees going in and out. Can you see them? Maybe I'll just try and get another angle for you as well. Right, let's just see if we can zoom in nicely. That's them now. So foraging away, and as you can see they're in a coconut tree, and the coconut tree is actually not that wide. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find myself a piece of coconut with a friend of mine called Danraj, and Jane as well is going to be helping me. We're going to hollow it out, we're going to make a bait hive, and we're going to stick it somewhere in that tree. So that's what we're going to do. That's the next step, and I hope that you would do something similar as well. Please don't go in there, you know, if you find a hive, don't go in there and rob all the honey, or don't go in there and break up the hive. It's just a real pity, you know. Bees are becoming more and more rare, more and more scarce. This is just a coconut log that we are splitting in half.
Yes.
Danraj is going to be so good and going to be climbing up the tree.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be stuck with the work of splitting and chiseling out as well. And then last thing is we're going to stick in some clay and leave a little entrance for them to get in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do, right?
Yeah.
Let's get going. Alright, thanks to this little fella here, I got myself an injury. Yeah, he was very excited pulling while I was hitting. Huh? What did you say?
Yeah.
You say yeah! Right, we're nearly there. Nearly got that splitting. Do you want to press down there, Danraj, with your foot? pretty tough wood, isn't it?
Make it fit.
Huh?
And then-
Here we go.
Wow.
Voila!
Easy.
Huh? So now, for the next 2 hours, Dhanraj, can you just chop the middle away?
What?
I'm only kidding. I think we'll just take turns. Huh? So now, what we need to do, mind your fingers now, take your fingers away. See, this is quite soft in the middle. So we just need to chop that away. And what's good about coconut is that the edges are really hard. So we can hollow that out now, no problem. Like that. So maybe in about 20 minutes or 30 minutes we should have a nice hollow bit, and then we can put it back together. You wanna have a go? So only hit the middle, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You can also hit that way. Do you know what I mean? That's it. Right, so Dhanraj and myself have cleaned it out using various different tools. We even used a brick at the end to just kind of get rid of all the bits and pieces. And now all we have to do is put them together. This, by the way, is going to be the floor. Bees don't attach comb to the floor, so it's important to have the smaller bit downwards and the bit with the cavity going upwards. So now all we're going to do is tie it together. We're going to stick some clay in either side with a little hole at the front, and then Dhanraj, you're going to be climbing, huh? Yeah? Okay, good.
Climbing.
Climbing, no problem, eh? Looks good, eh? Look.
Yeah. Can see?
There we go. And it's a small bee, so it doesn't really need much of a cavity.
This much small.
Very good. Right. There we go. Now let that dry for 2-3 hours, and we'll
Yeah.
put it up in the tree now this afternoon, I think. Both
Ready?
sides are full of clay.
Ready?
Finished. Maybe we can put it over this one up there.
Where?
This one, or we might put it over there, but you probably have a better idea once you're actually up there.
1 minute.
Yeah, you get it there. The youth of today. No problem, huh? So okay, so have a look down and see what's the best spot. I'll tie it up to the beehive now.
Yeah. 1 minute. 1 minute.
And it looks wonderful. Yeah. That's gonna be great.
And this?
Yeah, that should be alright.
Okay, finish.
Right, 3 hours later, and this is what they look like once they actually told each other where to go. If you are having trouble still finding your colony or the wild colony, then just wait until they really start going for it, because you literally could see a proper beeline. It's going straight out there. Some are going straight out that way and some are going straight out that way. So it tells me that the colony is, of course, in that direction, and it was, of course, you know. So it's a perfect method for finding any kind of colony in your area as well. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching. Do share it with other beekeepers, because some people just don't know this method, and I think it's just a very interesting thing to see, and how to make a bait hive out of natural products as well.